Hi, everybody. Welcome to today's Shape Unplugged episode. I am Stephanie Morris, CEO of Shape America and your host of Shape Unplugged. And today I have two really awesome guests joining me to talk a little bit about all things related to Gopher Sport. So, of course, who better to talk about Gopher Sport than Matt Ginskey, Vice President of Marketing at Gopher, and Jonathan Faloon, Gopher Brand Director. So first and foremost, Jonathan and Matt, hello. Welcome to you both. Thank you so much for being guests on today's Shape Unplugged. I am really excited to have this conversation. And can you share a little bit with our listeners who you are, where you live, and maybe the role you play at Gopher, and maybe even just a little bit about your why? What drew you to work in this health and physical education field?
Sure, I can start. Stephanie, first of all, thanks for having us. Excited to be here to talk about all things PE and all things Gopher. As you mentioned, I'm Jonathan Faloon. I'm the Gopher Brand Director. And basically what that means is I'm in charge of all things Gopher and how we show up in the world, how we support our teachers, and ultimately create products and resources for students to maximize their outcomes. And then a little bit about my why. I've always been passionate about physical fitness. I've been in sports since as long as I can remember. I played tennis in college, and I just believe that living a physically active lifestyle is super important, not only from the physical aspect, but mental and emotional benefits come along with living that type of lifestyle. So for me, working for a company that supports teachers who are responsible for teaching kids those values and principles is fantastic, and I feel super lucky.
I love it.
Thanks, Jonathan.
Yeah, go ahead, go for it.
Sorry, Stephanie. Rookie mistake there, stepping on your call. Matt Ginskey, I'm the VP of Marketing. I'm based out of Owatonna, Minnesota, which is where Gopher Sport is headquartered. It's a little southern Minnesota town, about an hour south of the Minneapolis, St. Paul area, and I've lived there for the last 15 or 20 years. In my role, we have multiple different brands. I oversee our 5 different brands in the company, all the marketing and product efforts associated with those brands. I've been with the company for 17 years. I was just really blessed to find a role as a product manager with Gopher back in 2005. Feels like forever ago. And the why for me was really simple. It was about the product. I loved what we did, what we produced, where it went. When you got to see the product in use at schools with teachers and with students, that just meant the world to me. I was really drawn to that. And as Jonathan mentioned, I'm also a big fan of physical activity. I love athletics. I love being active. And it really energizes me to think about the way our products and services help teachers. I'm married to a teacher. And so I've got a special soft spot for teachers. And so I just love how our products and services are designed to help teachers and then also help students become more active and healthy. So the why when I started was about the product and what we do, and it's the exact same thing 17 years later.
That is so cool. What a great story. Thank you so much, Matt, for sharing. And thank you again, Jonathan, for also sharing a little bit. So let's pivot for a minute and talk about the past couple of years, because I know you two will be the first to agree that COVID just threw us all for a loop. On so many levels, life really changed, and we had to learn to do things like teach PE very differently. So can you speak a little bit for a minute about how COVID impacted Gopher and the response that you undertook when it all sort of went down, and maybe even a little bit about whether it's impacted your approach to business and serving the HPE community? And Matt, why don't we hear from you on this one?
Yeah, thanks, Stephanie. It was March 11th. I was at Speak Out Day in Washington, D.C., plugged to 2023 Speak Out Day, right? Being in person again, I think, in this coming year. So if you're listening to this and interested, that's a great chance to get involved. I remember being in the hotel lobby, watching the TV. It was the day that the World Health Organization declared COVID-19 a global pandemic. And in turn, Washington, D.C. declared a public health emergency. And wow, how things changed so much from that day. I will never forget that day or that lobby of the hotel. And within 10 days, schools were going to distance learning, right? Something that for us, and I think for a lot of people at that time was totally was totally foreign. And as a company that, as we talked about, prides itself on serving schools and teachers and students, it was challenging and a little uneasy, a little scary at the time as you watch schools across the country start to go distance learning. So we really attempted immediately to try to adapt to what our customers were looking for, try to understand those needs, and kind of rally our activities around that. Most of that during that time was largely around content for learning at home, right? We were all faced with this brand new world. Kids were at home, teachers weren't able to see their kids in person. Even the parents at home were trying to adapt to life at home with kids. And it was just a lot of change in a really short amount of time. And it was tough to deal with. And I would say PE teachers were probably more affected than maybe any other type of teachers. There's such a social aspect to physical education and social benefits to physical education that you might not get in other classrooms or other settings. And obviously the physical benefits and the physical part of PE is such a big deal. So we really tried to find ways to help teachers connect with their students, get them away from the screen, get them up and moving, daily, activity challenge, lesson plans, at-home equipment lists, things that you might be able to adapt in your house to use as equipment, balled up socks as a ball, or a jug of milk filled with water, for some weights or things like that. So we just really wanted to be an asset and an ally to help teachers navigate through that, that time. We did a couple things around equipment as well. We created personalized equipment packs that some districts really took advantage of. We're really proud to be a part of that. They were able to actually distribute personalized PE packs to their students while they're at home, but a lot of content trying to get out to the students and allowing them to be active or stay active. In terms of how it's changed our business, we're happy that people are back in person. We strongly believe, I think as most watching this would agree with, that you just can't replace in-person physical education taught by a qualified PE teacher. There's just no replacement for that. But we do recognize that there are more virtual options probably available than there were in the past, and we'll continue to navigate those and try to provide those so that when there is a case of a student not being able to be in person, hopefully not to the scale that we experienced the last couple of years, that we'll be able to reach them in different ways and continue to broaden the impact that a PE teacher can have outside of just the gymnasium or the classroom, and expand that into more of a home setting and after school hours.
What a thoughtful, reflective answer, Matt. Thank you so much. And yes, it takes me back too. I remember being with you at that Speak Out Day. It's just incredible to think how much changed on a dime after that event. But yes, thank you for all of that. So let's pivot now to a more fun question, right? Let's have a moment of lightness, as they say. What is your favorite product? I want to hear from each of you on this one. And what is your favorite product that Gopher sells and why? So Jonathan, why don't we start with you?
Yeah, well, I'm glad you asked. We like to have fun at Gopher. I think PE is fun, and we like to live that culture within our walls as well. And I remember when I started last November, so coming up on a year, one of the first products I picked up was a Softex volleyball. And I just kind of looked at it and said, what is this? And it just felt fantastic. And for those not familiar, we have a only from Gopher Softex line of products that are soft, really durable. So it's for kids of all ages. So really it's a elementary through high school product. And it has a really nice grip texture to improve ball handling skills and improve student success. So I just think they're a great, unique line of products that are designed specifically for PE. And like everything, we're continually innovating all of our products, and we're working on innovating around Softex as well. So stay tuned for that. And yeah, that's my favorite.
That's awesome. And I have to add that I've heard adapted PE teachers in particular say that it's one of the best products when teaching adapted PE if you need to modify a little bit. So that's a great choice. All right, Matt, let's hear from you.
This is like choosing your favorite kid or your favorite student, especially from 17 years of experience with it. One that jumps out to mind, it's called Topple Tubes. The reason I love it, there's a bunch of reasons. One is it came from a teacher from us, Kim Ferry, years and years ago, came to us and said, I've got this idea, and I really would love to try to make it into a product. And the idea is very simple. She actually was using cardboard tubes. She was cutting them up into small sections, and she was painting the top half one color and painting the bottom half another color. And it worked great for her. It's the resourcefulness that a lot of PE teachers show on a day-to-day basis, but they weren't lasting. It was hard for her to replace them. So she brought that idea to us, and we made it into a product. We turned it into our PD team. We made it into a product. It's super versatile. She has a lot of different activities, from games to agility drills to sort of fitness things. There's a lot to do with the product. They're built in such a way that they'll last pretty much forever. And they're really reasonably priced. We made it a very simple rotomolded plastic product that's colors on each end, and they'll just last for a long time. So special connection to that, just because it came from a teacher and the idea that she was actually putting into place in her classroom. And we were able to take that and make it into a really successful product for us.
That is so cool. What a great story. I'm so glad you shared that. And, that also reminds me of the opportunity I had a couple of years ago to visit your headquarters in Minnesota and tour your creative lab, where all of the brainstorming and prototype development happens, often from ideas, as you had mentioned, from teachers. And it was such a cool experience and so gratifying, especially to see the connection directly to the field, where you take the needs that you're hearing from teachers and turn it into exclusive Gopher products. Like, what a cool thing. So thank you for sharing all of that. That was really, really neat. Now for a more serious question. When you think of Gopher, what are you most proud of in terms of Gopher as a company? So Jonathan, let's start with you again on this.
Yeah. So I have two answers to this. The first is, I think we have great people. Everybody in the company, again, I've been here just under a year, and everybody that I work with is kind, genuine, hardworking, super passionate about what they do, and really supportive of each other. So I'm just really proud of the culture that's been built at the company, and proud of what everybody does every day, because we are a team, and every facet of our business is critical to serving the needs of teachers and students. So that's first and foremost. And then beyond that, what I'm really proud of is that we truly are customer first in every way possible. Like Stephanie, you mentioned an example, like from innovation and products we develop. Like, we are thinking about the experience of the student, ball handling, skill development, teamwork, collaboration, durability is a huge thing. Like in the consumer side, somebody who buys a basketball, for example, that basketball is getting used a lot less than a basketball that gets used in a PE class, because you've got one person owning a basketball versus hundreds of kids that use that basketball every single day. So we're thinking about the design and the durability of basketballs, foam balls, etc. To our customer service team, where we want to make sure that when you call us, the phone call is answered in seconds. You're not waiting around, because teachers don't have time during the day. So when they're calling us, we want to make sure that it's timely, and we are there to serve them however they need, as fast as possible. To the last thing, like our satisfaction guarantee, people mention that all the time. We know things change for teachers on a dime. When they order a product that they thought, like, this will be perfect for my program, and then they're put it in use and it's just a little different than what they thought, and it's not getting the job done, and there's another product. We want to make sure that we can solve that need for them right away, no questions asked, and let's make it easy. So just all the things that we do, the way we are oriented in the way we work, and the things that we do are truly customer first. So I'm super proud of that. It's not a lot of companies say that, and I really feel like we live it. So I'm proud of that.
I love that. That's all just really, really reflective, and such a great way to talk about why you love your work. So thank you so much, Jonathan. And Matt.
Yeah, I'll echo a few of the things that Jonathan said. I really just appreciate how our company goes about their business, which is sort of a broad way to say it, but we really talk about internally and emphasize doing the business the right way, right? Having integrity, having honesty, putting our customer first. We don't really play games at GOPHER Sport, right? Like we want to know what's more important for the customer, and we want to go make that happen for them. It's not always flawless. We're not perfect. We're human in a lot of ways, but we really do make every attempt to make that a great experience. And on the other side of the coin, that on things that customers want to see, paying our bills, having good relations with the outside vendors or partners, we value those things, and we value doing those in the right way. We're not out for a quick win or a fast buck or anything like that. We want to do business the right way, and so I think that trickles down through a lot of different parts of the organization. Jonathan mentioned a few. Our satisfaction guarantee, where if you're not happy with something as a customer, call us. We're going to take care of it. You don't need a big piece of paper. There's no expiration date on it. Like, we're here to serve you. And if our experience or our product didn't live up to what you had hoped it would live up to, we want to make that right for you. So we're blessed to work with a great market. Teachers are wonderful to work with. And we're just really out to try to treat them the right way and do business the right way.
That's all so terrific. Thank you so much, Matt. And certainly a lot of sentiment that I've heard echoed throughout the field from teachers themselves in their experience of working with Gopher. So thank you. All right, let's turn to another subject that is near and dear to my heart, the Teacher of the Year program. As you both know, we recently launched a new state Teacher of the Year partner program network, which aims to create synergy, if you will, and build support between state affiliate health and physical education organizations and the national organization, all to uplift these outstanding teachers who win the State Teacher of the Year award every year. To offer this program and offer the support directly to the state affiliate leaders, we needed the support and help from our national Teacher of the Year partner network, which of course includes Gopher and Spark. And we are so grateful for that support and that we were able to do this. We're already seeing the impact on so many levels with states that opted in for this support and to become part of this network. Can you just speak a little bit to our listeners about why Gopher chose to make the additional investment to help make this program happen? Jonathan, maybe we'll hear some thoughts from you on this one.
Yeah, Stephanie, great question. And I think, it was pretty simple. This program just made sense to us. I think we believe that Teachers of the Year, they represent a group of teachers that are pushing the boundaries of the physical education landscape. They're constantly innovating with their practices. They're maximizing outcomes with their students, and they're great role models for the PE community. So we just wanted to support them as best we can. And I think you mentioned this part where we were supporting the National Teachers of the Year, and this opportunity to support across the entire nation at the state level just made a ton of sense. The vision of having a program where teachers are uplifted and best practices are better shared across states, it's like all boats rise when you've got that link between a national program and the state level program. To, again, ensure that the whole nation is represented. And there are things that are done on the East Coast versus the West Coast versus the North and the South that everybody can learn from everyone. The linkage and the communication is what's really important. So again, I think it was really simple, like, to want to support that. I mean, it's right in line with everything that we want to do as a company, everything that Shape supports. So it just made a lot of sense for us to support that as best we can.
Thank you so much. So well said, and just have so much appreciation again for the support and the opportunity to do this with Gopher and work so closely with state leaders to help uplift these amazing Teachers of the Year. So another program near and dear to our hearts at Shape America, of course, is Health Moves Minds, our signature flagship fundraising program for schools. And since we have launched this program in 2019, Gopher has been an incredibly close and amazing partner to us in supporting this organization and supporting this program rather, and making sure that we are impacting and reaching as many schools as possible to help drive such critical funds back to their PE and health education programs. You all truly were with us at the table as we started to conceive of this program, and the feedback that you were hearing from the field about the needs and where we could go with this was so invaluable. So we are so grateful to all of that. You are just an incredibly close partner with this particular piece that is so important for us. So can you just speak a little bit to what resonated with you as through to today, and why you felt it was important to be part of this program? And Jonathan, let's hear from you.
Yeah, definitely. I think we can all agree more than ever that on the tail end of COVID, social emotional learning is a critical element to students' development. And there was a big gap in well, all of us, adults included, not interacting with each other. And I think at the student level, this is a critical time for developing those collaboration skills, those skills to deal with different things that happen throughout your day, your week, your month. And so having a program that teaches those principles that create awareness for students around how they're feeling, teaching kindness to themselves, to others, to adults. I think it's just a great program. And not only that, but it supports the fundraising, supports the PE community, the community at large, and there's a greater give back to the school, which I think is an element that is absent from a lot of programs that are out there today. And so I think that, to me, is a win-win-win for PE programs and the students that are involved in the fundraiser and the teacher that's running it. It's easy for them to run it. It's a pretty easy message to give to students and parents, and it's great teachable skills. So for us, again, it's kind of like a broken record here, pretty simple. And it just made sense that something that we wanted to support, from spreading the word and getting that program out there and supporting it financially too. So it just makes a lot of sense for us.
That's awesome. Thank you so much. I have to say for a minute, one of my favorite things is when I hear about teachers who take the Gopher catalog or the catalogs from your other 5 amazing brands and sit down with their classes to peruse them and sort of decide together, what are we going to fundraise for, right? What new piece of equipment are we going to bring to our school and our program so that we can have a new unit all around this? I love those stories. It's so inspirational and so motivational. So thank you for that. And Matt, any thoughts for us on Health Moves Minds?
Yeah, Jonathan said it really well. I'll add, we are PE at our core. That's what Gopher is. Gopher is physical education. And so Health Moves Minds gave us an opportunity to be involved and give back and support, maybe in a way that we didn't traditionally have. And so Jonathan said it well, a lot of things just made sense. The message, the partnership with Shape America, who it was supporting in terms of being really geared toward physical education and helping schools, also overcoming something we hear a lot, which is budget and dollars I have to invest in my PE program. So it really checked a lot of boxes for us. So we just really relished the fact that we could be part of something that would support that HPE community and also find a way to give back to the schools in a way that maybe they weren't currently having an option to do. So we like that. The other great thing is, there's a local option to donate some of the funds that are raised through this program. And so we really like the idea that those funds at the school and the students and the parents were working to raise not only benefited the school, but some other important cause in their community. There's so much to learn from that in terms of just life lessons for students and the impact they can make. And so when that option came about, or that option was as a part of that program, really resonated with us in a way that we could also affect not just the school, but the local community too.
And I don't know if you even remember this, Matt, but it was through a conversation we were having with you that idea first came up. I remember it like it was yesterday, because you had talked about the importance of the tie-in to the local community. When we were just sort of getting together, one of our first conversations and talking about what a partnership could look like and how that might work. And it just struck all of us as being so true, because today in the society, I think there's no more important connection for some schools than their local community, right? To have impact and to make sure they're meeting the needs of their students. And so it all resonated in so many ways. And I'm so proud also that we found a way to make that happen, and that there is this choice, this opportunity for teachers maybe to partner with their school's PTA, if that's their charity of choice, or a local charity in the community that means something to the school.
Absolutely.
So, yeah. All right. Last but not least, I want to say thank you again to both of you for being guests on today's show. I really enjoyed our conversation, and I know our listeners are really enjoying it right now. Any final words that you want to offer to anybody listening right now? And Jonathan, you want to kick us off?
Yeah. And again, Stephanie, thanks for having us. Super fun to come and talk about what we're passionate about, which is PE. So for me, I just want to say to all the PE teachers, coordinators, school administrators that are listening to this podcast, thank you for all that you do. I know we say this in our catalog all the time, but I don't think it gets said enough in terms of the role that they play for the students in their lives. Maximizing your impact on shaping their futures is sometimes a thankless job, but we're here to support you and say thank you as much as we can for that. So, we believe in that mission, and from a Gopher Sports standpoint, like, we'll continue to support that forever. So thank you, and thanks for having me here.
Thank you so much. And Matt.
Yeah, thank you, Stephanie. Thanks to Shape America for having us. Thank you to all the Shape members, volunteers. I know there's a lot of work and effort, not only at the national level, but the state level. And those are, like a lot of things, not high paying jobs, or, people putting together things at the state level that involve a lot of work. And it's coming because people are so passionate about it and they want to make a difference. So we want to thank the state and local organizations too. I'll echo what Jonathan said. Thank you, teachers. Thank you, HPE community. We're blessed to be a part of it. We're very much devoted to support and try to further the cause. And, we think you're doing heroes work. No one is more popular in the school than the PE teacher, right? They're the most important teacher in the school. And we love to talk about that and love to try to lift them up and offer them new and different ways to bring new and different ideas and successes into their classroom. So thank you for what you're doing, not only in the classroom, outside the classroom, for your students, for your school, for your communities. We just are very appreciative and very humbled to work with the people that we work with on a day in and day out basis.
All right. You heard it here first. Thank you so much again to both of you. So well said today. And I just have so much appreciation for everything that you do for our health and physical education community. So thank you again. And thanks to everybody who tuned in to listen to today's Shape Unplugged. I hope you join us next time as well. And with that, we say goodbye and hope to see you again soon.
Bye, everyone.